Top 5 Best FPS You've Never Played. With all the remakes of famous FPS series coming out in the recent years, we thought we'd focus a little bit on series that have been forgotten, even though they're just as amazing. Here's our list of top 5 best FPS games you've probably never played, along with reasons why you should. They're listed in no particular order. If any of them catches your attention enough to make it your number 1, let us know in the comments. 5. Singularity. Plot-wise, Singularity might as well be a generic 80s action flick starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. The protagonist is a soldier, the antagonists are Russians. It's all set on an island. But to make things interesting, the story revolves around time travel and time manipulation. What makes the gameplay different from your standard shooter is the TMD, time manipulation device. It allows you to freeze time or change an object's age from mint condition to dirt old. This also works on your enemies, who can be magically shifted along their evolutionary line. Between your standard fare shooting bits, the game will take you for a ride, with TMD allowing you to solve various puzzles and take part in set pieces utilizing the island's uncertain position in space-time. Thanks to all the important sounding science mumbo-jumbo that makes up for a big chunk of the game's plot, you won't even wonder how it's possible that your actions aren't causing the fabric of the universe to unravel. 4. Prey. Prey was under development for over 11 years, but unlike many games which went through development hell, looking at you, Duke Nukem, this one ended up with favorable reviews. Prey is especially noteworthy because it came up with great gameplay concepts further developed in future games, making it quite the pioneer in the gaming industry. For example, it gave us Portals before Portal came out. Sure, they were nowhere as dynamic as the ones in Portal, but the core idea was there. That was not the only fun way in which the game disregarded the laws of physics. Gravity twists are another mechanic you could use to your advantage, allowing you to walk on walls and ceilings. While equipping a Native American character with a bunch of spiritual powers is a bit corny, it helped the game cut down on loading times. Dying forces your character into Spirit Realm, where you can shoot color-coded wraiths to regain health and come back to the world of living. While in the material plane, you can also use Tommy's Spirit Walk to phase through physical obstacles. Prey was a lot of fun, despite some flaws and ultimately underutilizing its great ideas, so it's a shame the sequel never came, getting canned midway through development. While we enjoyed the 2017 remake, it's a whole different story, and it can be treated as a separate IP. 3. TimeShift. Before Singularity, there was TimeShift, with its own take on time manipulation-based gameplay gimmick. TimeShift allowed you to rewind time, just like Tracer from Overwatch can go back 3 seconds, even from the brink of death. The scientists you play in TimeShift can use their time suit to turn back time and neutralize damage done to them before it even happens. You can also create bubbles of almost frozen time, allowing for various shenanigans. The crossbow with explosive bolts, for instance, works quite nicely with localized slow motion. Your time skills are also helpful with overcoming obstacles on your way. Fast closing doors and spinning fans. No need for reflexes and agility when you can just freeze time and pass through. While TimeShift's gameplay mechanics have been reutilized in games such as Overwatch and Dishonored, the game itself fell into undeserved obscurity. If you're looking for some time-bendy shooter with solid physics, TimeShift is a great pick. Oh, and did we mention that there's a multiplayer mode too? 2. Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm's genuinely entertaining gameplay makes it a must-have position on this list. With its recent remaster, the Full Clip Edition, it's also the least dated game amongst our propositions, making it the perfect candidate for you to start with. As the grizzled leader of a potty-mouthed crew of ex-soldiers turned mercenaries, you traverse the outer regions of the galaxy in your rusty and rickety spaceship, and annihilate your opponents in the most gruesome ways possible. Unlike most shooters, Bulletstorm rewards creativity. The skill shot mechanic encourages you to use skills and equipment to kill your enemies in a variety of different ways. To be exact, there are 135 skill shots, which can be combined with each other for bigger point rewards. Examples? The Mercy skill shot involves shooting an enemy in the nether regions and taking their head off as an act of, mercy. You can mix it with a headshot skill shot for better results, too. The points you earn for your skill shot combos allow you to upgrade your weapons, ammo, and the energy leash, as well as unlock brand new weapons, and with them, brand new ways to dispose of your foes. In other words, the more creatively you murder-kill your enemies, the more ways of murder-killing your enemies you get. Bulletstorm is definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a creatively brutal game, and you're sure your ears won't bleed when faced with a constant stream of often very elaborate expletives. 1. Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. The third sequel to Call of Juarez, Gunslinger, deserves a lot more popularity than it received. Gunslinger won't win any awards for its gunplay or the visuals. What earns it a place on this list is gameplay and story integration. Thanks to its plot structure, Gunslinger beats even BioShock in this regard. The protagonist, Silas Greaves, is an old bounty hunter telling a couple of saloon patrons about his many adventures. The thing is, he's an unreliable narrator, prone to embellishing his stories to an infuriating degree. It's a nice narrative frame, but it doesn't stop at cutscenes, which is the best part. Silas keeps telling his story even as you play the levels, and his audience keeps making comments, sometimes calling him on blatant lies mid-sequence. What happens then? The game changes in front of your eyes, sometimes rewinding completely. At other times, enemies disappear or pop into existence in greater numbers. Sometimes, Silas gets distracted and the gameplay loops until he gets back to telling the tale. Few games go so far out of their way to make sure the gameplay and story go hand in hand, supporting one another. Tight gunplay, great voice acting, and pretty visuals complement the outstanding narration gameplay, making Gunslinger an obvious choice for our list. So there you have it, 5 half-forgotten shooters with clever gimmicks making them worth bringing back from the brink of oblivion. They can be slightly wonky or a little dated in some cases, but their originality more than makes up for any shortcomings and makes them incredibly fun to play. As an additional bonus, having played them, you can act like an insufferable hipster when someone asks you, what's your favorite FPS? What do you think of our list? Did any of the games catch your attention? Or maybe you've actually played all of them and would like to propose your own picks instead? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gaming content.